All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our call with KeAndre Lambert-Smith. As always, please raise your hand and I will unmute you. We'll start with Rich Garcelle.
Thanks, Paul. Hi, KeAndre. How are you today?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm well, thanks. When you look at tape or film, what are you seeing from the Maryland secondary?
Pretty good group. Pretty seasoned in the cornerback position with number two. I played against him last year. And, overall good group, physical. And I feel like it's going to be a good matchup.
Tyler Donahue.
KeAndre, you were sidelined from game action for a bit last month. How are you feeling at this point in terms of getting back into the groove and being able to finish the season strong?
I'm feeling pretty good mentally, physically. And like you said, I'm ready to finish the season strong.
Daniel Gallen.
Along those lines, KeAndre, how do you feel like this year has gone for you? How do you feel like you've developed in year three here?
Obviously, it's not like the best year, with especially the expectations I have for myself. But I mean, it's like you said, it's still a couple games left, and I plan on doing the best I can do with my opportunity. So I just plan on overall just finishing the season strong, and I feel like I still came a long way from being a freshman here and into year two, and now here at year three. I feel like I came a long way and still growing.
Andrew Clay.
Hey, KeAndre, I heard some speculation from some people looking forward that said kind of for the first time in a few years, Penn State doesn't necessarily have that next receiver up, and questions about who is the guy after Parker. When you look at your roster, obviously besides yourself, who do you think is the future at that position, and who are players that maybe we don't know right now that you think are going to shine in a couple years?
I think we got a lot of great talent in the wide receiver room. I think Liam is going to be pretty good for us. I also believe that Trey is, as well as Amari. He has an early touchdown his freshman year, and Caden. So I mean, honestly, all of the young guys in the room, I feel like as older guys in the room, we set a good example, and we lead in the right way, and I feel like they are going to do nothing but follow our footsteps and do good things here in the future.
Andrew Dustin.
Hey, KeAndre, thanks for doing this. How would you compare your performances this season to the 2021 year? Any things that are similar, any things that are different in terms of your production, things like that? Thanks.
I feel like me personally, I'm more explosive. I know I'm faster, stronger. And like I said, I just developed over the years. Obviously, I think I maybe had a better year in 2021, but I'm not really, focused on. I don't even know my stats this year. Like I'm not even focused on that, honestly. I'm just focused on 1-0, and like I said earlier, just finishing the season strong.
Rich Garcelle.
How would you describe specifically finishing the season strong? What does that mean to you? What do you have in mind?
Obviously going 3-0, I believe, and then with a bowl game 4-0. Finishing on that note, on winning note.
Tyler Donahue.
KeAndre, you mentioned the stats, and people are going to look to those for year-to-year comparisons. But how about beyond the box scores? What are you doing that you feel is the signs of progress and that you're really proud about on the field versus what you were doing last year?
Just playing faster, more confident. I feel like I'm more physical in a blocking game, and just overall just more confident and comfortable out there, playing. I feel like I'm less thinking about making mistakes and just more playing fast.
Daniel Gallen.
KeAndre, you mentioned Liam as someone who has stood out a little bit to you. It seems like he's flashed a little bit when he's gotten in the second half of these games. How have you seen him develop behind the scenes, and what does he bring to the wide receiver room that might be unique?
So I paid attention to Liam coming out of high school, and I feel like he came in pretty polished. Like he knew what he was doing. He's pretty like quick, shifty, and he can run great routes to me. Like I'm a fan. Like I take pride in routes, so I'm a big fan of his route running. And his hands, he's strong, physical. So I mean, that's what he contributes to us. He just makes us more dynamic, more fast, more quick, more physical, everything.
Tyler Donahue.
I'm curious what you've seen from Theo Johnson in the last month or so, and within the offense that has really clicked. He's producing at a very high level. I think he had 2 catches through the first 5 games of his season. What do you think has really changed on a positive note there for this offense and for Theo himself?
I think if it like you said, he's having a good season. I feel like he's contributing the best he can. Making catches, making plays after the catch. And just being physical, how big he is, his frame. He's a freak of nature, and I feel like he's like found himself and found how to use it. And just playing. He's also playing more confident, I feel like.
Rich Garcella.
KeAndre, I don't recall whether you played or not against Maryland in 20, their last trip to Beaver Stadium, but the way the game unfolded, and I know it was talked about last year. Has that game been mentioned at all during this week by anybody? The way Maryland handed it to you guys 2 years ago at Beaver Stadium.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we all like the guys who on that team. We know what happened, but I mean that's not something we're just talking about. I'm pretty sure you guys know. Like we focus on 1-0, being present. So I mean, we're not just dwelling on 2 years ago. And if anything, last year we won. So, I mean, we wouldn't be worried about 2 years ago. We won the most recent matchup. So, I mean, but we're not even worried about last year. We're just worried about seeing them this Saturday and executing our plan and going 1-0.
Daniel Gallen.
When you were a freshman back in 2020, you were able to come in and play right away. This year, we've seen Omari Evans come in and burn his red shirt and see some time. What has Omari done since he's arrived to be able to do that? And how have you seen him develop as someone who never played wide receiver full time before getting here?
His speed I feel like is unmatched. He's a natural burner, and his ability to just be quick. He kind of reminds myself of his quickness because I feel like I'm very quick. And when I see him in his releases, I notice that he can just leave defenders defenders just stuck because he's so quick. And I have seen him come a long way in just his mental side. Coming from high school earlier, not earlier in the row, I'm not sure. Just coming from high school and transitioning into college. So I mean, I definitely seen him progress in the right track, and I know if he's only gonna, become more prepared.
Time for a few more questions. Tyler Donahue.
Hey, KeAndre, if I could ask your evaluation of another freshman, with Drew coming in January and getting spring ball, I'm curious, how much have you seen him develop as a quarterback and as a member of this locker room in year 1?
Yeah, so Drew's he was like a humble kid, like quiet, kind of like I said Nick was. And so I mean, he didn't talk much, but now what I seen most of him is his communication. Like he'll speak up, be more vocal, and I feel like that's because he's a little more comfortable in the locker room now. And I know he has a voice in the team. He's a quarterback, obviously. And so I mean, he speaks up. I seen that from him. And I mean, his arm is kind of unmatched, like the power and strength. So I mean, I'm definitely excited to see him in the future.
Daniel Gallen.
When it comes to guys like Drew and Nick, freshmen who are trying to find their voice and be more vocal, how difficult is that for a young player? What do you remember about that process kind of for you and what that's like to be able to feel like you can speak up as such a young guy?
I mean, I feel like when I was coming in, I wasn't more so worried about I'm a freshman, I can't say anything. I felt like I'm a natural born leader, so wherever I'm at, I feel like it's ways you can lead. Like you don't got to be the most vocal guy to lead. Like you can lead by example, and you can say stuff here and there. But as a freshman, you do got to know your kind of like earn your stripes and earn your respect before you can try to, say too much or try to hold too much weight. But I mean, I feel like them guys are handling it well so far.